My alarm's beeping shatters the early morning quiet, and I find myself wondering where to find the motivation to rise. Class is still quite far off, but I agreed to run with Emmy in the mornings. Really, I'm not that interested in running as a hobby, or even as a possible life-lengthening exercise. However, I feel obligated to follow through on my promise to Emmy's yesterday, which is why I find myself throwing on some running shoes and a light t-shirt. The cool morning air caresses my face as the morning sunshine causes the dew on the grass to sparkle, nearly blinding me at first. As I make my way down to the track, an ugly thought strikes me. What if this is some sort of joke that Emmy's playing on me? Would that surprise me, really? Hell, I'd probably do it to the new guy, too. At the very least, I'm sure Emmy and Rin made a bet on whether or not I'd actually show up. I feel a sense of trepidation as the tracks comes into view. You're late! It seemed that Emmy is already here. There, what a relief. Not according to my watch, we both are early in fact. Damn, he got me here. Emmy's sitting on the bleachers, decked out in her running gear, waiting somewhat patiently for me. I'm glad you're actually here. I was afraid that this was a joke or something. Nah, I never make someone get up early or nothing. Plus, Ray knows me 500 yen now. She didn't think you'd actually show up. I knew it. Wow. Yep, nice to show him. No, Emmy was on my side at least. Emmy hops off of the bleachers and begins stretching out. She's remarkably almost like a dancer. I set out to stretch as well, but then realized that I don't exactly remember how to stretch properly. It's been ages since I stretched for anything, if you don't count on one stint at running last week. My one stint at running last week. I love stretching. That's amazing. And even then, I don't think I actually stretched beforehand. The specter of my long hospital stay rises up again. I can't say I was all that active before the hospital stay though. So maybe I'm just being Morris? Emmy giggles as she watches me stretch out. No, Sal, you've got to hold it for longer than that. I'm trying, it kinda hurts a little. That's because you're out of shape. You've got to get some flexibility in you like this. To demonstrate, Emmy reaches down and puts her head through her leg. Whoa. God bless you. I see. Is that sort of thing I should strive for? That's, of course, flexibility is important for any runner. You'll be able to go faster the more you stretch out. That makes no sense to me, but Emmy seems to believe it's true. With Emmy's help, I managed to stretch out properly. I can't help notice that when she thinks about how to explain things to me, her mouth scrunches up in concentration. It's adorable. Not bad, Isao. Come on, we'd better start running. We'll start off with just a mile, okay? Oh god, that's 4 laps on the ground track, you got it? That sounds fine to me. This shouldn't be too hard, right? It's gonna be hard. A hazy memory running a mile for a gym class surfaces in my mind. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Emmy sets a pretty good pace, and I fall in behind her. Alright. Try to keep up, okay, Thou? Roger. We found the first curve without incident, though. I can already feel my heart rate decreasing slightly. On the second curve, I start to breathe through my mouth. Emmy doesn't even seem to be breaking a sweat. As if to punctuate her superiority, she turns around and starts running back. Wow. Are you doing okay, Sal? Never better. Oh, really? Maybe I should speed up then, Oh no. Want you to over-X? Nerd. So, my heavy panting and wheezing makes the statement less convincing than I had hoped. Emmy simply smiles and turns around again. She's gonna book it. You're the boss. Oh, okay, never mind. We'll stay at this pace. I get the feeling that I'm being mocked. If I weren't such in terrible shape, I'd probably feel offended. By the third lap, my breath is coming in a ragged gasp. I'm also awash in my own sweat. Gross. We found the curve to start off the fourth lap, and Emmy looks back at me with a grin. Here we go. She takes off at a blinding speed while I stubbornly stick up to my slower pace. By the time I get to the first turn, she's already rounding the second. As I struggle across the back stretch, Emmy continues running and catches up to me. Oh, come on, Sally, you do. He lapped her. She already lapped him. I'd answer her, but I'm too focused on getting air into my lungs and ignoring them burning my leg muscles. Part of me wants to say something like, maybe you can, but I'm about to die here. But again, I doubt I can actually form words right now. Emmy keeps pace with me as I round the second turn and cross the finish line. Her sprint seems to have gone her sweating. It actually caused her shirt to turn slightly translucent. It seems she wears a black sports bra. Wow. I feel a vague stab of guilt for being that sort of guy who stares at a girl's chest, but my legs and chest are burning so badly I can't bring myself to care that much. Not bad for a first effort, Sal. Kind of you to say so. Emmy seems to be, if not out of breath, at least breathing a little more heavily than she was before when she started running. That must have been the sprint that did it. Hey, I've got a few sprints and I gotta get a few sprints in. You should walk around the track to cool down. Then we can stretch out and we'll be all done, okay? Sounds great. My legs are on fire, my breathing is still heavy, but surprisingly, my heart seems to be taking the strain well. Another triumph of medical science, I suppose. You should put your hand behind your head. It makes it easier to catch your breath. Surprisingly, she's right. What's it? I begin to stroll around the track, happy to feel my breath coming back to me. Whoa. There's a blur as Emmy sprints by me. Why was she sprinting with her arms up to her chest? That was weird. Watching her run is absolutely fascinating. It's not just because she's on prosthetics, though. That is interesting. The really interesting thing is the way her face changes. I can catch glimpses of it as she runs by, but her eyes seem to come alive with sort of a fierce joy. As if there's nothing else in the world but her and the track. By the time I go into the final stretch, Emmy seems to have finished her sprinting. She's breathing heavily now, but she's wearing a satisfied grin on her face. She waves to me cheerily as I near her. Feeling better, right? Actually, yeah. Do you want to take another lap around with me? I've got to cool down too, you know. Part of me would rather sit down and not move, but something tells me that would be a bad idea. Besides, if I sit down, there may not be getting back up again. Sure, why not? Emmy's got her hand behind her head now as well, which makes her seem very relaxed. The positioning of her arms also pulls her shirt upward ever so slightly, so I can see a small strip of her belly. God damn it, it's Al. I do my best to act the gentleman and not look, but the contrast of her skin against her red running shorts is rather interesting. So how do you feel, Sal? Surprisingly good, actually. I'm sore and tired, but surprisingly good. As soon as I say it, I realize that it's true. Sure, part of me wants to lay down and die, but I feel like I've accomplished something. It's almost like a glow throughout my body that persists despite the soreness. Yeah, that's the runner's high. Runner's high? Yeah, it has something to do with adrenaline? Emmy thinks for a moment as we walk, trying to remember. And then she shrugs and grins at me. I don't actually remember it. It's a good feeling though, isn't it? Better than sex, right? I open my mouth to respond shortly before processing what she just said. Emmy watches my face for a few moments before bursting into laughter. Sorry, I couldn't resist. You're just too easy. What? Oh god, why did I agree to run with you again? Emmy just laughs harder. She takes a hold of my forearm and tilts it, allowing her to get a better view of my watch. Her face changes the moment she sees the time. Oh no, we better move on it now. Class is in an hour and I need a shower. I should probably do that as well. I need to go see the nurse too. Maybe he'll write me a note for being late. Why do you need to see the nurse? Emmy points to her prosthetics as if it would explain everything. It's important to check for irritation. For sweat or friction or anything. Normally I only go after practice, but if we're going to be doing these every morning runs, I guess I'll see him twice a day. Wait, so Emiya's only started doing these runs since I showed up? If it's more convenient for you to run with me at a later time... Don't be silly. I've been meaning to start running in the morning for a while now. But if I didn't have a partner to run with me, I'd be less likely to keep up a routine. It's always harder to blow off a commitment if you're going to let someone else down. So you'll be my running partner for the mornings. We both need to exercise, so it all works out, don't you think? Yeah, perfect. It'll have to be me, though. Well, I guess I can't complain too much. Emmy's pretty fun to hang out with. And she's right, I don't need to exercise. I do need to exercise, never mind. Doctor's orders even. Emmy waves a quick goodbye to me. Right, I'm off. Come and have lunch with us, okay? What? Lunch, the meal in the middle of the day. Come have it with us. Where? The rooftop. Friendly's sit up there. When? Lunchtime. When else? That was a silly question. Yeah, but I sort of felt the need to ask all the three completeness sake. Emmy laughs and grins. I don't think I've ever seen a girl smile so much before. Not bad, it's I'll see ya. With that, she takes off like a shot through the school building. I guess she's going to see the nurse first. I hurry back to my room and hop in the shower, only to find the water takes a while to heat up. The shock of the cold water nearly kills me. I managed to warm the water a bit and spend some quality time feeling my muscles as my heart surprisingly feels the least bothered by the run. I suppose that's a good thing, even if it does make me feel a bit more of a wuss. I mean, at least I'd have an excuse beyond I'm out of shape if my heart were bothering me. Guess I'll have to keep this running thing up, otherwise I'm sure Emmy won't let me hear the end of it. It's only after I get out and dry myself off that I realize I've only 10 minutes left to put my clothes on and get to class. Crap. The hand on the clock finally set me free from the tedium of yet another fun-filled class. Getting up from my seat proves to be more of a problem than I anticipated. My legs are killing me from the morning's run. Maybe doing these with Emmy isn't such a hot idea after all. Still, the run's given me a hell of an appetite. I'm halfway down the hallway to the cafeteria when I remember that I've got my lunch with me. My parents saw fit to provide me with some prepackaged stuff when I moved in. And a good thing too. The hallway is packed with students headed for the cafeteria. Going back is like swimming upstream, but I've got an appointment to keep up on the rooftop. It takes me a moment to find the staircase leading up to the rooftop, but I'm willing to bet that Emmy and Rin aren't up there by now anyway. In fact, I think I saw Emmy among the bodies in the hallway headed for the cafeteria. I step out of the door on the roof and take a deep breath. The fresh air blowing against my face and body almost makes my legs hurt less. Maybe if I'm upside down. Part of me wants to be surprised that Rin's already up here. What's that going to accomplish? Things in the clouds. Couldn't you just look at them right side up? Rin rolls her eyes in something approaching exasperation. Then I wouldn't get a new perspective. Is upside down really a new perspective? I need to give her a voice. Aha! I caught her off guard. Rin looks pensive. You may have a point. Maybe sideways. What? Rin lays down on the bench to look at the sky. I give up. Fortunately, Emmy chooses that moment to burst through the door carrying 2 bags. She nearly takes the door off the hinges. Sorry it took me so long. There was a ton of people in line. She drops the first bag in front of Rin and takes a seat on the bench next to her. Buy Rin a lunch for her? Sometimes, yeah. I'd have Rin buy my lunch for me in return, but I'm not sure how she'd carry it. Plus, I never buy her lunch. If Rin's offended by Emmy's comment, she doesn't show it. Emmy sniffs. How ungrateful of you. I'm not sure whether you two are joking with one another or I'm witnessing the beginning of a cat fight. These two girls that stare at one another. Well, that's the first time I've seen Rin like what? That's the first time I've seen Rin happy. The two girls stare at one another for two tense moments before breaking into smiles. Yami, do you think being upside down is a new perspective on things? They already had this conversation. Emi looks thoughtful, apparently giving the question some thought. After a deep, profound pause, she speaks. I have no idea. Well, at least she's as lost as I am. Hey Sal, you coming to track meet, right? Well, this question comes out of the blue and catching me off guard. I don't know yet. Honestly, Sal, after I went through all the trouble letting you run with me in the morning, you won't even show up at the track meet. Wasn't she the only one that asked me to run with her? Or wasn't she the one that asked me to run with her? Actually, she didn't even give me a choice in the matter. Wait, no, I didn't say that. She beams at me as if I just agreed to her $1 million. So, you will come after all. Great, that's great. Great! I didn't say that either. I'll be going too, so I'll make sure he comes at me. Good idea, Rin. Maybe we can get food or something after the meet's over. I feel like I've just been conned by these two. But not by these two. More like some outside force pushing me irrevocably towards my destiny. Oh shit, I think he's becoming self-aware. Or maybe I shouldn't read books that feature conspiracy theories so heavily, otherwise I might end up sounding like Kenji. Still, I suppose that I've got to show up now. I don't think I could stay against both of them being disappointed. Or stand against them both of them being disappointed. I'd never see the end of it. When is it again? Next week, silly. I just told you a few days ago. No, you didn't. I forgot. Well, you won't forget to come though, will you? Of course I won't. I'll even make a note on the calendar or something. Rin nods sagely. That's another new Rin. Well, that's probably a good idea, you know? Unless time changes at this course. It can do that? Rin gives a non-committal shrug. It hasn't yet, but you never know. This time, it's Emmy who gives a shrug. I suppose it can't be helped if it happens. Not unless you're time travel or something. You don't actually think that could happen, do you? I don't think we do we? Rin shrugs again. This seems to be your default response to everything. I suppose not, but I reserve the right to change my opinion at moments notice. For Rin, the statement makes a disturbing amount of sense. The fact that I realize this now frightens me a bit. I wonder if Emmy gets this feeling all the time. If she does, she's not showing it, though Emmy merely nods. As expected. What's that supposed to mean? What's her fucking voice? This time it's Emmy who shrugs. It's like she's using Rin's own weapon against her. Your response is the sort of thing I'd expect from you, that's all. Am I really that predictable? Emmy's smile seems to border on gloating. Nah, it's just that you're unpredictable. Unpredictability is pretty predictable. Well, that's alright then. I'll get the chance to see whether Rin's being serious or not as the bell rings. I didn't notice the lunch period slipping by at all. Hanging out with these two was far too interesting. Abby jumps a look of panic on her face. Oh no, I need to stop by my room to pick up my notebook for the next class. Don't you wish you had a time machine now? Rin seems rather smug as she delivers this line, like she just won an argument. Emmy ignores Rin's comment. Sorry, Sal, but could you make sure our garbage gets thrown away? I usually clean it myself, but I've got to run. Sure, no problem. Emmy darts away like a nerd with an urgency I'm starting to expect from her. I don't bother asking Rin why she couldn't help. She already seemed to be preoccupied with something else entirely as she wanders off. She's probably used to Emmy taking care of the cleanup, and for some reason I doubt Emmy's ever raised the issue with her. Cleaning up for lunch doesn't take long, so I have plenty of time to toss our garbage and get to class. Misha greets with me with a wave and a devious grin as I walk through the door. Didn't see you in the cafeteria, Chan. Yeah, I decided it was too crowded there. Misha grins and gets even wider. Oh really? Are you sure you weren't participating in an rendezvous? What? What are you talking about? You were on the roof, right, with the Renanami, no less. You Casanova, you. We just had lunch, that's all. Misha bursts into laughter, drawing the attention of several of my classmates. Waha! You're so adorable when you blush like that, Chan. She gives me a conspiratorial wink. Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. There's no secret. Oh? Misha seems disappointed and then brightens up again. Time will tell. I don't know what the hell she's talking about, but blessedly our teacher comes in and the class starts. Another day of class has finally dragged itself to a close. Unexpectedly, I managed to stay awake for the whole day. I'm pretty sure that counts as a miracle. My legs seem unwilling to stand up for a moment. I guess the run took a lot out of me. I head down the hallway to make my way to my room. I sit down and half-heartedly chip away at my homework for a while, feeling like a vulture picking at a particularly unsavory carcass. I know this is what it eats, but it's not sure that it shouldn't be ordering takeout instead. I don't think you can take this, but it's impossible not to get my work done. Now, let's see. What was I supposed to be looking over again? I know it's a losing battle, but I fight it anyway. Halfway through my math, I put my pencil down. This isn't working. I need a distraction. Unfortunately, my opinion for distractions are rather slim. Or my options. I'm not in the mood to read right now. Kenji is usually out of his room at this moment. If I go to the student council room, I'll just end up doing work for those two. And heavens know where everyone else is except for, well, I suppose that's an option. I grab my shoes and head for the track. Emmy's probably down there. Track practice is just ending as I arrive at the track. The sun's beginning to dip low in the sky. Has it really gotten that late already? What are you doing down here, Sal? Come to spy on me, have you? I give a shrug. To be honest, I'm not sure why I'm down here. I didn't have anything better to do. I figure that's about right. At the moment, Emmy's the only person I can think of who I could visit. It's not your last resort, am I? Nobody's cool around. So I guess I'll go see Emmy. That's what you thought. She actually looks angry. I transferred some teasing in my own presence itself. Actually, yeah, I guess you are. Emmy pouts, widening her eyes to give the maximum amount of puppy dog resemblance. Kidding. I was kidding. So you are down here to stalk me. Wait, what? That's not what I meant. Why would I stalk you anyways? It's not like you'd require stalking. If you're not asleep or in class, you're down here, right? Emmy laughed at this comment. Well, you're not all wrong, I suppose, but you forgot about eating. I do that too, you know. I'm not conceding to the point. Plus, I hang out with Rin sometimes too, so really, I might take some effort to stop. What do you two do together anyway? You don't seem to have a lot in common. She puts her hand on her hips and assumes a superior air. That's what you think. I've gotten all sorts of hidden hobbies, you know. Oh really? Like what? Amy puts her head to one side as if she's trying to remember what she does in her free time. Well, Rin and I go shopping sometimes. Well, I guess that makes sense. Emmy's a girl, after all, but Rin comes with you? Well, we usually swing by the art supply store. Plus, she likes the music store that sells all kinds of weird sounding stuff. She says it helps her focus. That makes a little more sense. I see. Any other hidden hobbies? Emmy wags her finger at me. Now, why would I go and reveal all my dark secrets to you? We hardly know one another. Somehow I think that's all that Emmy has in the way of hobbies. Still, well, I don't think my question's been answered. Even if you do have a few hobbies, I still don't see why you hang out with Rin so much. I mean, she's kind of weird, isn't she? The comment causes Emmy to laugh loudly. Ah, that's an understatement. That's the understatement of the year. So, why? I mean, you're a lot better at conversation and stuff, so I figured you'd hang out with a lot of people. But I think I've only ever seen you with Rin. Emmy seems unusually defensive. Hey, I hang out with plenty of people that aren't Rin. You just don't see me doing it because I'm not in your class. Okay, but that still doesn't explain why you hang out with Rin. I'm not even sure why I want to know this. I guess it's just because lunch was so strange. Emmy shrugs, looking at me for a moment, very Rinish. It's because we have a similar outlook. If you were to ask me the least likely answer to my question, that would be it. What do you mean? It's like... Okay, Rin paints and stuff, right? Yes. I'm not sure where this is going. Well, I run. And that's why we're similar. You lost me. Abby frowns as if trying to figure out her own answer. Well, maybe it's that we do things for the same reason. Huh? You know, we follow our passions. So you're passionate about running and Rin's passionate about art. Is that it? Well, sort of. Let me think. Well, Rin explained it to me once, but I don't know how much of it I followed. Not surprising. I think any explanation from Rin would probably confuse anyone. She says we both chase after an extreme. Like she's always trying to find a new way to show a particular feeling or something. And I run because the feeling I get from it, the high I get from it, the high. And since we don't allow ourselves to be slowed down by anything, we make a connection based on that. What do you mean by slowed down by anything? Ami looks surprised and points to her legs. You know, because I'm a runner and Rin's a painter, even without arms. So we respect each other's determination. And that's why we hang out. I think. I'm not sure that made any sense to me, but from Emmy's sheepish expression, she's not sure about it either. Honestly, it's not something I think about much. We just get along. I think that's really all that matters. I suppose she's got a point there. Another question strikes me, and since I've got nothing better to do, I ask it. So, what got you into running anyway? Oh, I've been running since I was really little. My dad was a runner, and so as soon as I could walk, he started teaching me how to run. It was a father-daughter thing, you know. Their own mutual hobby. Oh god. Shadow crosses her face, and I'm shocked to see her looking sad. Did something happen between them? Man, I don't have a lot of time left. Sorry, but I got a few more laps before I gotta see the nurse. She races off around the track, hair streaming in the wind. It seems to me that she's going a lot faster than she was this morning. As she rounds the track, I catch a glimpse of her face. It's much the same as it was in the morning, but her eyes seem to have taken on a harder edge. I guess she's right. I don't really know much about her. I watched her run for a little while and then stand up to head back to my room. Hey! She spots me leaving and waves to catch my attention. Don't forget, same time tomorrow morning, got it? Got it. I head back to my room. Homework beckons. I can't sleep. My body's tired, but My mind is kept awake, staring at the ceiling in the hollow darkness of my room. I grasp desperately for the thread of thought, hoping that I could run my brain into the ground. All I can think of is how I can't think of anything. That is not productive at all. I wonder if this is a side effect of my medication, though it seems odd for it to take so long to show up. Then again, maybe I'm just not used to my new surroundings as I'd like to think. I don't know for whatever reason I'm awake and I shouldn't be. This is ridiculous. Ignoring my body's stiffness, I get out of my bed and look at my clock. 4 in the morning. Last time I checked it was only 1, so maybe I slept a little. I don't know. I can relate to this so much. I throw on some clothes and head out to my room. A walk might do some good. I'm surprised at how chill the air is compared to the relative warmth of the day. I can almost see my breath as I wander the campus, waiting for the sun to come up or for me to fall asleep. Whose the lights are on at 4 in the morning? At this point, either option works for me. I found myself at the track where the first time Emmy's not out running. I suppose that makes sense. It's too early even for her. The bleachers seats are cold, but at this point, I welcome the sensation. The sun is starting to show its face over the horizon. I know it's an awful certainty, but that I'll get no more sleep tonight. The sun's steadily strengthening. Rays start to warm me up, and I watch the dew on the ground begin to steam slightly. My mind calms down a little,